Hello friends, and welcome to the video series on Proteus tutorials for beginners. In this video we are going to see how to design a PCB automatically. So this will be done by placing the components automatically and also automatic routing. In our previous video we saw how to do that manually. In order to do this automatically, the first thing you need to ensure is that you have made your design already. So this is the design of a power supply, and if you are new and you don't know how to do this, just check above on my video on how to design this power supply. The next thing is that you simply come to this PCB layout and click on the PCB layout, and this page appears. And what you're going to do next is simply to make a design, and you are going to select a board edge. So you come and click on the rectangle and you select board edge. Then you draw your board edge. It doesn't matter the size, but it should be at least a little big. If at the end it's too big, you will be able to reduce it. The next thing you do is you come to auto placer. You can come here and click on auto placer. You simply come to tools and you click on auto placer. I'm going to use the default settings, and the components are being placed automatically. So one thing interesting is that you can still decide and modify the position of each of the components. For example, you see that this resistor is really far from the rest of the components, so I am going to select it and I am going to bring it closer in order to economize space. So with that, I am going to adjust the board edge. I am going to reduce it a little bit, like this and like this. And when you've placed your components now and you've adjusted them as you like, the next thing is that you need to choose the tracing thickness, and to do that you come here default. You can modify it. I am going to use 25. Let me use 25 and click OK. Now when that is done, you can come here and select auto router, or you still go to tools and you select auto router. I am going to do this, and I am going to begin the routing with the default setting, and presently it's using an algorithm to calculate the best method in which it's going to make the connections. And when that is done, you can see that it has done the routing automatically, and it consists of some blue lines and some red lines. And if you check, you're going to see that the blue lines correspond to the bottom copper and the red lines correspond to the top copper, as you can see here below. So let's just visualize that. We come here and click on 3D visualize. We are going to see the way the connections are being made. So you see this is the bottom, and these are the copper wires on the bottom, and here is the top. We have the copper wires on the top. So this is actually good, it's very nice, but the top copper becomes a problem in the case where you are going to use a single PCB layer. And the double layers are okay, it's good, but it becomes a problem in the case you don't have enough resources in order to make the PCB with 2 layers and you want to make it only 1 layer. The good news is that you can still modify this in order to suit to your needs, meaning that it is possible that all of these traces, the red wires, we can make them to live from top copper to bottom copper without actually causing short circuit right here. And how is that done? That is done simply by the use of jumpers. And to use a jumper, it's very simple. We are going to use a jumper for one, and you are going to do that for the rest. So now to use a jumper, we simply come here and make sure we select this package, and we go to P, and we are going to type their link, and these are the different sizes. I am going to take this 30, for example. I double click and I click OK. I am going to place it right here. I am going to rotate this by pressing the minus or the plus on the keypad. So when that is done, I simply click on it. So the next thing is that I am going to select this. I come and press on this and I select this one. For example, I will delete it. Now it's telling me that the connection is to be made here, so this line is indicating that. So I am going to come here and select this route, and I'm going to select the bottom copper. Then I am going to make this connection like this. Okay, now I am going to make this connection right here from here. I make sure we have here bottom copper, and I select this and I connect it here. And you discover that this connection has still been made, but we have removed the top copper, and we've made it to be the bottom copper. So you can do same for the rest, and there are also some other parts where you don't necessarily need the jumper, in the case where it's not going to cause any short circuit. Like here, for example, we can simply come and select this. We can select this and we delete it. Then I make the connection. I make sure I select the round, then bottom copper is selected. I can simply make the connection here like this, the bottom copper, in such a way that I am going to use a single layer. And for other connections, you can check if there are possibilities. Like here again, for example, you're not obliged here to have top copper. You select the bottom copper because there's no short circuit possibility here, and you make the connection. And also there's another possibility for this one. For example, I can actually remove this, I can delete this, and make sure I select my bottom copper, and I make this to pass here just below this component like this, and finally like this. And same for this one, I can delete it, and I make the connection here. I ensure that the bottom copper is selected, and I connect it like this. So that is it for it, and you can still do that for the other connections. You can still look for possible ways to make the other connections. So that is all about it. I'm going to try and do the other connection. Okay guys, so at this point I'm almost done. As you can see, there is one error here. This is to say that the connections are not all right, that there's a problem somewhere, either something is not connected or there is a short circuit. So I am going to simply take this jumper and finally connect it here. And one thing interesting is that you can press Control. If you press Control, you're going to have a circular path. You can connect this, and you press Control, you notice that it gives me a circular path in order to make the connections, but I don't need it for now, so I am going to just make the connections. And one thing you need to make sure is that you avoid sharp angles like 90 degrees while making your connection. So as you can see, this is my PCB design which has been made. Let's now have a view on the 3D visualization. You notice that all the connections are done on the bottom copper, and there is no connection here above. So here we have our two jumpers, and all the connections are made below. Alright, so this is the end of the video, and I hope the video was of great help to you. If you like the video, don't forget to press the like button. If you didn't like the video, go ahead and press the unlike button. And if you have any question, we would like to see them in the comment section. So if you are new to this channel, do not forget to hit the notification box and subscribe to our channel. Thank you very much.